Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
But it turns out that the cucumber didn't actually fit sideways, and it was in fact very painful until they called the paramedics.
And then did they fit it in sideways? Or did they, explain to you that it needs to go lengthwise?
No, they said to slice it, and then you can fit it between two pieces of bread for a sandwich.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That makes more sense.
We were just discussing before we were just discussing cucumbers and how to fit them sidewise into things.
Mostly sandwiches.
Mostly sandwiches. Chickens.
Nice and tight fit between two buns.
Yeah. Take a hot dog bun, slap a cucumber sandwich on it, put some mayonnaise on, there you go.
Yeah, you got to use the mayonnaise for lube.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Hello, everyone. Just before we went live, I was explaining to Shiver and Nakar, I was previously playing Cyberpunk. I have since given up on it for a third time, and I was explaining why I've given up, so I'm going to continue that because I feel like talking about why I've given up on Cyberpunk again, because one, the entire time I was playing Cyberpunk, I was thinking about Starfield. I found Starfield just a more fun game. Not as complete, a little bit more polished because Cyberpunk is, but I just found it easier and more fun to play and to engage with, and less restrictive on what you can do in it. I found the loot a lot more fun. But the thing that really, and I was pushing through and trying to get further to it. Is chat working? It's like,
It hasn't moved since we've gone live, apart from
Darge, say
Darge.
something if you're alive.
oh,
So-
Darge, excellent.
Seems
I
normal
just-
to me.
I've gotten like 4 welcome to the chat room. Welcome to the chat room. We're connecting to the chat room. Welcome to the chat.
Oh, weird.
Twitch. Anyway,
It's a bit twitchy.
it's a bit twitchy, yeah. I was playing it last week sometime, and I made it to a particular boss fight, and I have been speccing myself as, a cyberware and a stealth character. I basically haven't killed anyone in a while. I just sneak around and knock them all out from behind, and I've done, a dozen missions like that, knocking them out, grabbing them, knocking, and I was really actually enjoying that, and like using the cameras to figure out where they are and figure out my routes. And I get to this room at the end of this hour-long sequence of platforming in a Cyberpunk game, which is stupid. I hate bad platforming in an FPS. And a boss shows up with 2 mantis arms that teleports to you and turns invisible and kills me in 2 hits because my character isn't spec'd to fight this particular boss, and I can't back out of it because it's saved right when you start at this boss, and if I back out, I lose an hour of progress, and I can't kill this boss because I'm not spec'd to kill this boss. And it's like, okay, the game doesn't want me to keep playing it. I'm done.
That's fair.
And it's actually really sad because there was a previous boss that had like a giant power hammer, and I had the same problem. I couldn't kill her. But then I realized, oh wait, I can just stealth and sneak around her and completely avoid the boss battle. Great game design. Thank you. Oh wait, I'm being attacked by this guy that I was supposed to, I had conversations with before. I should have been able to at least like talk to him, talk him down. No, just murderous rampage, you're dead. I did not like that. So
One
I
of those
stopped.
fun rage quit moments in the game. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even say rage quit. I tried the boss fight, I think 30 times, trying
just meant
different
more than-
ways, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I meant,
Nope.
Did you try cheating?
no, because you need to mod the game to cheat.
Do you?
You have to mod the
That's a
game to
bit
cheat.
shit.
Even in Starfield, when I came up to something that I couldn't beat, I was just able to go open up the console, enter God mode, and
Yeah,
beat
because the
it.
cheats
And
haven't
then,
changed since Morrowind because it's the same fucking engine.
but at least I could. Whereas Cyberpunk, no, you have to mod it to enable any cheating, and it's like, what? Just let me. It's a single player game. Let me play it however the hell.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, there really shouldn't be a build that runs up against a boss and there's like none of your abilities have any hope of.
At the very least, a fucking warning. Danger, Will Robinson.
Yeah.
No, I definitely do not suspect Squadron 42 will allow cheats. It's not.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with Squadron not allowing cheats. What I'm not okay with is Cyberpunk allowing me to get, honestly, probably like 2/3 of the way through a particular storyline and then hard locking it on.
The difference is that Cyberpunk is that open world sandbox, and that
Yeah.
is the whole game. And so you can put yourself in these places, and it's like, oh dear, the consequences of my own actions. Can I cheat?
No.
But Squadron's very much, not an RPG, at least in the traditional sense, before anyone starts jumping down my throat. So it's very much on the rails of, I don't even.
If you
there's no
try and jump
levels
down
kind of
Shiver's,
thing, and it's just go.
if you try and jump down Shiver's throat, just make sure you don't try it sidewise.
Yeah, the cucumber
Um,
tried that.
So
Which is why I don't like cucumbers.
I don't like them because they're tasteless pieces of, or yeah, as Darge says,
They
or use
taste
mayonnaise.
like dirty dish water.
Okay,
Wow.
so
That's
we
aggressive.
we have
All those
missed.
cucumber farmers out there are just like, oh god.
Well, it's their fault for growing a shit crop.
Oh man.
There's only one thing worse than a cucumber farmer, and that's a rutabaga farmer.
I had
Or a raisin farmer.
I had one of those moments where I was like, I can't believe I didn't know this until now that I'm 38. I found out today, and I really probably should have known before now, but I found out today that loofahs are actually a vegetable, and I had no idea.
Really?
That piece of information had never crossed my world.
You can grow your own loofah kits.
Apparently.
Mm.
I didn't know that. Or at least
okay,
use
so-
mayonnaise. That's right.
So we missed 3 weeks
A million things.
due to reasons. And
We
in
didn't
like,
have reasons.
we did have reasons. And then in like 2 weeks, it's CitizenCon. So, do we want to start with a recap of the last 3 weeks, or do we want to talk about CitizenCon first?
I think we should start with a recap.
Okay, let's start with the recap, and then we'll talk about CitizenCon. Let's go over here. So the last episode we have was a large part of it was me ranting about the first of the 2 cargo episodes, where I was like, they better explain better how they're doing this, because without explaining it, it sounds like shit. And to CIG's credit, the next episode explained how they're dealing with it and explained that yes, you will be able to just pay
Just
some
like
money.
we told you.
Yes, I know, but I had to, I had to make
No,
sure.
So
Good on you.
do you think that the manual cargo thing is going to be hard, or do you think you'll pick it up as you go along?
I think you're gonna have to stretch a bit first, but
Oh boy. Depends how many cucumbers you're moving.
to be able to get a handle on it.
Oh dear.
My next complaint, or my next question, and this is going to be something that they're going to what?
This could be a complaint. It could be a question. I'm not quite sure which.
It's well, it's sort of a follow on from what I was talking about the first week of cargo, which is okay. It's great that it's great that they've said that there is an auto function that you don't have to do anything and you can just pay. My question is going to be, and this is something that they're going to have to balance. Like, it's going to come out and it's probably going to be shit and broken, and
Is
they'll
this
be
what your
able to
question
find.
is going to be, or is this what your question is?
My question is, how long is it going to take? It's
Yeah,
less about the money,
How long
and it's more about the
They
time.
said in the episode it's one of the things they're going to be balancing.
Yep.
So
I
there's
just
no answer to that. It's going to vary widely. And I mean, depends what you're loading too. If you're like, oh, I want to load my Banu Merchantman with like 17 billion credits worth of cargo, probably gonna take a while.
They're
So
probably
I
going to
just-
balance it by looking at either weight or value of cargo, and then find an average sort of time, and then people will be, at that sort of
Yeah.
time that people could beat if they wanted to manually do it.
and that's fine. It becomes clearer every year that Star Citizen is not going to be a game for everyone. Because, well,
Literally, you can do anything you want.
yes, but hey, North End Trooper, they keep adding restrictions to the things that you might want to do. Like, hey, I want to do some cargo. Okay, but either you have to take 5 minutes to load it all yourself manually, or you have to pay a portion and wait 10 minutes for it to be loaded for you.
As
Oh,
opposed to
Instantaneously, it just magic happens all the time.
it was never built like that though. From the get-go, Chris was there saying it's going to take time to put cargo in.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it was ever not built as that. I'm saying I genuinely have questions about how fun that's going to be.
Is one of those questions going to be, if I'm loading my ship and I die, can I respawn quick enough to see my same cargo being loaded back up again?
No, my question's going to be just like many of my other
Should be.
questions with Star Citizen. When am I going to have the time?
I mean, if you're going to be doing cargo, then probably not much, but is that really what you're going to do if you have limited time? Is a bit of cargo hauling?
I like cargo hauling.
That's awesome.
So,
So you just have to prioritize things. That's all. You go and you order your cargo. It's going to take whatever 4 minutes and 12 seconds. You're like, oh, cool. That gives me enough time to go buy a new weapon. Oh, I need this part for my ship. Oh shit, I need to go to that locker and grab that thing. Okay, by the time I get back to my ship, then all my cargo's loaded and then I leave.
I know it's going to be.
I mean, that's part of cargo hauling is time, efficiency, money.
Yeah.
If you're serious about cargo hauling, you factor in time.
Yeah, totally. But
You do.
And that's it. That's the other thing too, is like it depends on how much I would like to play with. I'm looking forward to playing with the manual loading and seeing how it feels. There was actually a bit in the newest episode of ISC about some improvements they were making to the way that it works.
Yes. I would really like.
If you
and
have
some-
enough
okay.
time to play Baldur's Gate 3, you've got enough time to do cargo hauling in Star Citizen.
No, because I am I am a Pavlovian dog. I have been trained to want constant gratification.
So what you're telling? No, this is good information. So what you're saying is you should do manual loading, and every time something you like properly place a box, like fireworks go off and like it makes music and
I want every time I load cargo, I want a point to go into my cargo handling skill, and then once I've got enough cargo
Nice.
handling skill, I want to be able to lift heavier cargo, and I want numbers to go up. And
In fairness, you're not wrong. You know, if you are
You're
on a
really funny,
limited
it's
time
just-
budget,
This random number just goes up on the side of
Yeah.
of like your cargo compartment. You don't really know what it means. Just a number that goes up.
But- you've got other options to do, at least in Star Citizen. If you are on this time budget of, I go kill things, or I kill myself and respawn fast enough to see myself die.
but that's where you're wrong. Because if I'm on a
What?
limited time budget, okay, I'm going to wake up in my room. It's going to take me 5 minutes to get down, take
Or
the
shit.
train.
David, we have
Yeah.
literally done 30-minute play sessions and done 3 missions.
I know.
So I mean,
Anyway,
yeah,
well,
okay,
you-
maybe you would have preferred to
you-
do 5 missions in that time, but
You do have a point, but I don't think it's going to be quite as time restrictive, time
Also-
consuming. as
also, I
you
mean, in the
think,
long term, you
but
won't
it's
be-
also better to prepare.
I
also in
want
the long term, you won't be spawning in a city very often. You'll be spawning in your ship.
I want to
unless you
spawn in my
ended
ship,
it.
or I
Unless
want to
you ended
spawn.
it in a city.
I want a little house in my hangar. It's my hangar. I want to spawn in my hangar, or like
In your-
spawn
in
in a
your
house
hammer?
in my hammer. For
Well,
for
they did
cargo
talk about
lifting,
that actually a little bit.
for
um,
cargo stuff, I would like a tractor beam that can grab multiple smaller boxes
Okay.
rather than one. Like I do want some convenience to be added at some point.
Mhm.
Because
I agree.
until a bit more convenience is added, my biggest, like my two biggest things stopping me from playing Star Citizen are it's not persistent, so I can't feel good about any progress I make because I don't want to make any progress because the progress is going to be wiped. That'll get fixed eventually. And two is I really, really like games that respect my time.
Mhm.
Like that is one of my favorite things about a video game is it respecting my time and letting me just take some of these little shortcuts that you know.
I mean,
Anyway,
that's what the automatic thing's for.
Mhm.
yep, and that's why it's
the compromise solution where some people do want to sit there and take their time or load it up as quick as possible and that sort of thing. And then
Tetris
people
is a
such as
famous game.
self-interest- yeah.
I am sure that I will at times want to load my own cargo. And even if I don't want to load my own cargo, if I go anywhere that's not a city, I'm going to have to load my own cargo because there won't be an option to auto load your cargo. My concern is how much time and money is it going, and more time, how much time will it take to actually auto load my cargo? And I hope that it's a reasonable amount of time.
But
that's all.
Yeah, but then you're not going to be loading in with your Hull E and then expecting it to be filled in 5 minutes so you can get on and play. So
Absolutely
there's
not.
a bit of give and take as well.
I want it.
You know,
It should be
reasonable
like
expectation.
10 seconds per cargo box. Like filling up a freelancer should take like 2 or 3 minutes. Filling up a Hull E should take a half hour. I don't know. Like there's got to be some like number of seconds per SCU filled or something.
Oh, I'm sure they'll have some ridiculously complicated algorithm for
Yes.
for it.
So it's also again, and this is one of the things I was just talking about. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, in that they're talking about removing the global inventories in things like ships and making you have to go to inventory boxes to access your inventory. And I don't know if I like that, because again, it's convenience.
Mhm.
Like,
I think for this one, I was very firmly thinking that I need to play it to know whether I hate it or not. It doesn't make. I wasn't able to follow all the way through exactly how that would work and how it would affect my play. So I need to play it first to get a good feel for that.
If what they're saying, like, and I know they're gonna change this, and I hate that they're gonna change this. Like, I know it's not whatchamacallit, it's not fidelified, but I like being able to step outside of my ship and open the Stanton inventory and be like, ooh, I'm gonna grab this and this and this, or like grab my global Stanton inventory and grab my stuff while I'm on the tram.
There is a solution.
What's that?
Ish. Just hobo it. Keep all your shit with you and whatever ship you're with.
But you don't have enough room.
Stop being a fucking dragon and looting everything and not using it.
No.
Yeah, good luck with that with gamers.
Yeah.
But I think that'll probably be from what they're said. It's hard. I need to play it. They talked about it, but I need to actually play it to know.
There's a lot of balls in the air with that one, because I mean,
literally,
the star systems are aiming to be huge and always have stuff that you can do, and so you might not ever want to leave a particular system, or at least if you do, it will be a big event like moving homes, which I know you do, like people change socks, but in game it's going to be a pain in the ass. You know, you might want to You might want to stay in the Stanton
Go sit on a
system
cucumber
for
sideways.
half a year. Then you might want to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to sell off a load of shit, get in this character, and go on the second star on the left and just explore in
You
the
know
middle of
what?
nowhere
Okay,
and see
so-
what I come back with.
Here's the thing, Shiver. I've heard that explanation. I've heard that said. I don't believe it. As of right now, I do not believe that CIG can manage to fit that much interesting content into one system. We still haven't seen almost any truly procedural content. They're continuing to make like handcrafted missions. So I don't know if they can do it. And until they start doing it, I don't think they should be designing the game for something that they haven't proven that they can do.
The only thing I can say in the defense of that, and this is only a possibility, is that they've got to make missions by hand
Thanks
first
here.
to be familiar enough to actually say, okay, now we're familiar enough, here's how we can create them so that they can be done procedurally.
We don't.
They did it with the planets, for starters, you know? That's exactly what they did with planets.
I know. I'm just. I
And
still.
you've got,
I need to see.
I nearly forgot. You've got to get that framework in now before it's too late, so it is supported later down the line. Because we can't look at their fucking 5-year plan or whatever. We only get what's going to be coming soon because you want instant gratification here. You're getting it now, but now you're also asking the question: well, what about in 3 years' time? Well, which do you want?
I mean, I want.
And things
all the
change.
cake.
Things change week
I
by
want-
week.
I want all of the cinnamon buns, and I want to eat them too, because I don't like cake.
You don't
Yeah, good
like
point.
cake.
Cinnamon buns
I don't
are a
like
lot better
cake.
than cake.
Okay, hang on. What is better? Rancid ass chocolate cake with too much icing, or cinnamon buns with all of that hot dripping mayonnaise?
I'll take the fucking cake because
You are a
that cake
mutant.
hasn't got any fucking dirty, withered, fucking rotten corpse grapes in it.
Grapes?
Raisins.
Who puts
Oh.
raisins in a cinnamon bun?
Some people do.
Yeah.
I have never had a raisin in a cinnamon bun in my entire life. That's like
North
putting
American
raisins in a
cinnamon
that is like putting raisins in a butter tart. It's wrong.
Oh, my poor dad. My dad makes amazing butter tarts, but they have raisins in them.
Then they're not amazing.
They are amazing. They are
I-
legitimately amazing.
I really hope that they can pull off that much interesting content in one system across 100
Also,
systems.
can I please object to
Yes.
you putting mayonnaise on a cinnamon bun?
I said mayonnaise because we referred to mayonnaise as lube earlier, subtly pretending that it was, semen. And the comedy bit is cinnamon
Wow.
buns with
wow,
hot
you
dripping
fucking
semen on
assume
them.
a lot, don't you?
Okay? Cinnamon
Wow.
buns.
We never said that. We were being
Hey, guess what,
completely
everybody?
honest.
This is the best episode we've ever done.
I find that very hard to swallow.
Now it's even
Ugh.
better.
What the
Oh,
fuck
God.
were we talking about?
You were talking about how they might not be able to fit enough content into one system.
Yeah.
I need to see.
They already have a gigantic amount of content in Stanton, but we'll have to see how that plays out. And I mean,
I'm excited to
Yeah,
see
it depends.
Pyro when we see Pyro, because we'll see how much of it is the same stuff, how much of it is new, and that I think will actually give us a very good idea at how much things will change between systems.
Mhm.
But I mean, that also is like, okay, I've done Stanton missions for 2 weeks. I want something new. What?
JJ.
What?
JJ.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
One of my favorite new things to order at McDonald's is the McGangbang.
Did they actually respond to that order?
They will. But I do it.
They
I
will.
order it myself. But you order a double cheeseburger and a junior chicken, and you open up the double cheeseburger between the two patties. You put the junior chicken in the middle of it, and you put the other half of the double cheeseburger back on. So you've got 2 beef patties and a junior chicken, and it's delicious. McGangbang. Are you supposed to add fries
What's
to it?
wrong in your country?
Canadians
No,
don't
this
add
is
a layer of fries.
This is a David specific thing. Don't worry about the country.
Do you want a heart attack before your middle age? Because that's how you get one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, JJ is right. I wouldn't ask for that if they're. I mean, I don't ask for it. I just order a double cheeseburger with no onions or pickles and a junior chicken and make it myself. Because I'm not going to talk about gangbangs to anyone at a McDonald's. Period.
I'm
That's
just
fair.
picturing how you're sat there discussing this with Mrs. Ayres, saying, "Hey, you know what I fancy right now? Gangbang. How do you feel about that?" And now you've put yourself in this position where she was like, "What the fuck do you fucking mean?" You're like, "Oh, it's McDonald's burger. You do double cheeseburger, chicken. That's what I meant, honey."
It's straight off their secret menu, Shiver. It's a thing. Everyone in a normal
I'm
country
not
knows
falling
about
for
it.
it.
Oh,
It sounds
God.
like a bit of a shit secret menu if everyone in the country knows about it.
Yeah, well,
anyway, back to Star Citizen.
Marco. Oh,
Oh man.
I really like this shot.
So,
It's so pretty.
oh, absolutely. As I said before we started the show, one of our episodes needs to be Star Citizen is pretty.
Yep.
But yeah, one of the things they were talking about in this section was that they are also going to be making some missions for cargo haulers so that you don't have to have like 40 billion credits to actually like do some of these things. So they'll have missions to haul things for like Crusader, for example. And you don't, you get the cargo and you can haul it and then make some money off of that.
That's going to
Which
be
should fun.
good. I'm interested in that. I really like the idea of someone paying me to just haul their cargo for them. I think that'll be fun,
Low
and I
risk.
think that's well, I think that's going to be interesting when that gets like fed into Quantum and Quanta,
Mhm.
and yeah, you might get interdicted and attacked on your cargo run, and you're gonna have to deal like. I hated getting interdicted in Freelancer, but it added a lot of gameplay, right? Like there's something there happening, and I like that. I think that's great, and I want there to be like really small cargo missions too, for those of us that don't have.
There should be something to,
Oh yeah.
in essence, climb the ladder.
Well, and
Yep.
also there's going to be like missions for like I think there might even already be some, but there'll be missions for like transporting small but very important cargo.
Yep.
Like this box is very important.
Well, and then they use that same system for transporting people too, right? For VIP transportation, and it's just a slightly different.
It'd be
setup,
really funny
right?
if you could stick them in a cargo container.
I mean, if they don't have cargo missions where you are transporting people that wake up and end
River
up being
Thames style.
really attractive naked women, then
Yeah.
they've failed as a game.
Exactly. Oh, come on, Shiver.
I'm just trying to think.
You know the reference. Come on.
I'm wondering if is it Star Trek Enterprise?
No, it's
Oh.
River Tam from Firefly.
Oh yeah. They did that with one of the Cardassians, I think. No, Kardashian. I did it wrong.
Cardassians?
In Star Trek Enterprise, I think. I know
Shiver,
that
what's
happened
wrong
in Star
with
Trek
you?
Enterprise,
Oh
but
my god. I don't remember that episode of Enterprise. I'll have to go find it. Oh man.
and I think they did it in the original series as well. And of course, the original series, it was all, "I love you, Captain Kirk? And Captain Kirk's like, well, we can have the sex, but I can't keep you. I'm married to the ship, but I see others behind her back.
That's a very good impression of how James Kirk operates.
We
There's
just
a
started.
naked woman walking through my ship. We have to do something about this
Oh
before
God, no.
it's too late.
Okay, I have a very important but very inappropriate question now.
Okay.
And I have to apologize in advance. But
You're
do you
forgiven.
think Captain Kirk fucks like he talks?
Yes. Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You should send that question to William Shatner on X. Oh God. Wow.
Worst bit.
See?
No.
I
I'm
told
not-
you
I'm
this
not
is the
even going
best
there.
episode we've ever done, and we're just ramping it up. We have like 2 more full episodes to talk about.
I know.
Scotty, I need more power in the engine core. You know what I mean.
Wow.
Okay, so can someone explain this portion to me? The getting back special items?
Yes. So basically, these are things that you have, like you're a subscriber, so that you got some special armor or something.
Yeah.
But the problem right now is that if you die with it, it's gone, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't really seem to make any sense. It doesn't give the item any value because it is instantly gone.
Yeah.
So their idea is that if that happens to you, then the item is going to show up in like a lost and found in your like quarters.
Should there be a cost associated with retrieving it? And when do we get Pico Planet?
I don't think there should be a cost associated with retrieving it unless they run into big problems with cheating. And Pico Planet should be arriving probably for CitizenCon. I'm expecting them to announce Pico Planet for CitizenCon.
They better.
Hey, Jake, late breaking announcement. We need Pico Planet, CitizenCon. Get on it. Also, I love the B team, like the you know what I mean, B roll team. They're just like, well, we'll just make Pico the Pico a planet and really screw with people's heads.
All right. I liked this mission talk episode. Attacking missions are fun. I'm glad they're
this is a really cool mission idea. I liked it a lot.
And look, they showed that ship that is never discussed or talked about by literally anyone.
Do you remember its name?
Its name?
The Herald.
Yes.
Well
you
done.
Got it. You are an
I-
encyclopedia of Star Citizen knowledge.
I do remember the Herald. It's another ship that was better in its original design.
Yep. That's
And
one
I'm s-
where I really disagree with the change they made to it. I think it looked way better originally. But yeah, this whole thing with is really cool idea, especially conceptually, like how you're hacking in, but then not only is it being defended by like security guards, but also by other people in the system trying to keep you from stealing the data. I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that this would be possible because of lots of the MFD work that's gone on that will allow them to easily create new MFDs, like ones that show the temperature rising in these servers and stuff like that. Like, I think this is
I mean, that
An
definitely
early
seems to be what they're using for sure. I don't know if this was possible before, but probably way easier to do now than it was
Yeah.
before.
And yeah, that Korean gamer, I will also agree. The MSR needs something to do with it. Wait, Jake, is Anna Dimitrio's favorite chip the Herald, and not the original
That's-
Herald, the bad Herald?
That's
That
the
makes me kinda
implication, I
sad.
believe.
Makes me kind of sad. I like the talk about this mission. I don't know if it's done when you've successfully defended the servers and kept them cool. I would like it if you have to like insert a data drive, defend it, protect it, and then take the data drive to your ship while it's like coolant ability is counting down, and then you actually have to get it somewhere, like two part.
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot of
that
fun.
would actually be really cool if it was like an optional modification to that mission where I managed to unlock the data, but I can't actually retrieve it remotely. You have to bring it to me. But it doesn't always happen, if you know what I mean. That
Yeah,
would be really cool, like, addition. And then you have to, under fire, try and get the hell out of there. That would be pretty awesome.
I'm just looking forward to when hacking consists more of, okay, I've got to break into the data drive, decrypt the encryption locks on here, make sure that the data's not going to be corrupted. Press F.
hang on. I gotta. There was a
Well-
great news story, like this week. Here we go. Fiction. We can't trace the hackers. They're on a 10 plus multi-hop proxies with 8192-bit RSA full end-to-end encrypted with air-gapped quantum entangled endpoints. Real life. They were shitposting classified information on Discord and named their Word document "Secrets to Sell to the Chinese."
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Criminals are stupid
Worse.
most of the time.
They posted design documents on the War Thunder forums.
That is like what, 15 times that's happened now? That happens
It's happened
every
more than once.
Oh no, it's happened like 15 times. Every year there's multiple instances of top secret design documents being posted on the Warhammer forums to try and prove that
War Thunder.
specific War Thunder, sorry. The War Thunder forums to try and prove that specific vehicles are not properly designed in the game. And every single time the War Thunder devs are like, we can't touch this. You're
Please?
you're
You-
banned. Like,
Please
no.
You'd
stop
think
posting
when-
highly classified documents on our server.
You think at this point, like the Ministry of Defense or whoever you've got in your country, when they hire someone, they're like, do you play War Thunder?
They did. They did actually
Yes.
ask that to someone.
Not hiring you.
Oh man. I actually think hacking is going to be pretty complex in the Star Citizen. A lot of the game mechanics in the Star Citizen are pretty complex. so.
Hang on. Do you remember? And I don't know if they're still going to do this, but back in the day, and I'm like talking like probably
In the
8 or
day.
9 years ago, back in the day. Greetings, Griff.
Aye.
8 or
Hey, old
9 years
Griffin.
ago, back in the day, the CIG devs, I don't even remember who it was at this point, so I apologize, but someone was talking about how they would like there to be like the graphical mini game for hacking, but also like a command prompt that you could code in to hack faster and better if you learned the coding for the hacking. So I don't know if they'll still do that, but they did say
They did
years
talk
ago.
about it. Yep.
I do love that thought of, let's go with the capital ship because the capital ship's got fucking everything. You've got your engineer players running around, maintaining, fixing, keeping things actually running so you can fire back or keep the ship moving, keep the shields up, etc., etc. And then you've got your e-warfare suite where half the team's dedicated to making sure that someone's not trying to attack the systems to shut down these shields. You've got someone on the other half of the team who are trying to shut down the other ship systems. I really like that idea of not just a person doing one of these things, but these whole teams working together. So, almost an entire clan could be running a fucking Bengal carrier. I love that idea.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
And then the person who's the captain's got the least to do because he's just there like, keep the ship running. I'm going to check on the naked woman running around the ship.
Yeah, I'm going to check on her. So, Shiver, have you read or listened to the Expanse series?
I watched the TV show. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, that works too.
Okay.
I don't know how. I can't remember if they describe it as much in the show, but there's a lot of discussion during combat in the Expanse of electronic warfare, and how you have to have it, and if you don't, you're screwed.
What was it in BSG as well? Or am I imagining or confusing?
I think there
with
was some bits of it in BSG too.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that to start making its way into Star Citizen, of like, you don't even have to fire a shot if you've got a really good e-warfare suite and they don't, and you can just turn off their engines and their shields and board them, right? Like, and it's going to be mind-bogglingly complex to balance.
Yep.
But it's exciting. And they're going to do it.
At the same time, it's so exciting because if you can bring, I'm just going to say, let's go with hacker. I'm sure there's a proper term for someone who specializes in e-warfare on an away team, and you've already locked down the ship, so it's a silent assault, and then you've got to bring the guy with you so he can check the next room or something like that, turn off the alarms and keep that silence going, and you've got to prepare, and almost like is it Tom Clancy's SWAT games, that kind of thing. Like, that would be so cool.
Yeah, Darj, you're right. Like, the initial premise of BSG is great in that it's the only ship that hadn't been updated because it was a museum ship, right?
Oh yeah, that's really cool. I didn't catch that bit, but I also watched BSG a really long time ago. So
yeah, I really like the idea of adding more hacking to the game. This seems to be, a fairly basic start, but a start nonetheless. And yeah.
Oh, thank you, then, Trooper. That's really interesting to know. An electronic warfare officer.
EWO.
So fucking cool. Can you saying that? What do you do for a job?
Yeah,
I'm the electronic warfare officer.
Yeah, but can we
unlimited power?
Thank you, Griff.
Thank you, Griff.
But hang on. Can you not fit I know, I miss you too, Griff. It's been way too long. Life has been hectic, but it's been too damn long. I want to call them there needs to be a night role or something, and then they can be Ewoks.
Electronic warfare officer Knight.
I guess we should actually we're going to talk about CitizenCon after we go through the stuff. But I will say right now, so
they should be night arbiters.
Night Ewok.
So then you got Waka Wakas.
Unfortunately, I'll say it now, and I'll say it again in a bit. Basically what happened is everything's really fucking expensive right now, and none of us basically could afford to go to CitizenCon. So unfortunately, we're not going to CitizenCon this year. And it sucks because we really wanted to, but we can't.
But yeah, hey, there we go, perfect. Electronic warfare officer kinetic.
I like that, Ewok. I will say, and I'm going to paraphrase this by saying that this is early planning stages, but I am starting.
ErisCon.
No, I'm starting to persuade. So, Mrs. Eris really wants to get married, and we've looked into getting married.
Who
here at
to?
home? I don't know. She won't tell me. But it costs like $30,000 for one day, and no, just no. Yeah. I
Not
mean,
after
if you
buying
want
a
to do like,
house.
if you want to do like a celebration and such. So
He's right.
currently, I'm working on it with her, but depending on where CitizenCon is next year, our current actual plan is to go and not get married at CitizenCon, but like get married wherever CitizenCon is,
Like
and I'd
Germany or
attend
something?
CitizenCon. Yeah.
Oh God, you're not going to make CitizenCon your honeymoon, are you?
No,
Every
it'll be
single
after.
argument you have in married life thereafter will be like, I fucking had my honeymoon in
no.
CitizenCon for
She's-
you. Your
she's-
argument
look.
is invalid.
He's up to. He wants to do this.
That's
She's
why.
like on board.
That's why she's
Well,
got
actually,
the ace in the
no.
sleeve to win every argument when you're married.
No,
I'm
you're
married.
fine.
I know
You're
these
fi- you're-
things.
Shiver. He's gonna be in a European country probably. He's fine if he gets
That
married in a
doesn't make
European
it better.
country.
That makes it
and then-
worse.
If he gets married in a European country and then goes on
Ooh.
a big long honeymoon after that in Europe,
No,
He's fine.
Malkiri,
Believe
you're onto
me.
something. I actually connect with the UK government already. I think, yeah,
didn't
it's
you
monthly.
talk to like
We've
the
got
president of France or something?
no. I've talked to some people in the White House, and we have monthly check-ins with the UK, the Netherlands, Estonia, and a bunch of other the digital nations. So I might be able to actually make it a work trip and get comp for it. But anyway, no CitizenCon this year. Really, really trying for next year is what I'm gonna say.
Cool.
And now I'm gonna get us back to missions. Where were we?
We were
I'll
hacking.
just say
thing.
then, if there is a CitizenCon in Europe, I'll try to make it.
We could all be there. I want you all there if I'm getting married. So I find this section really interesting because they were saying that the Ninetales what was it? No, not Ninetales, sorry. What was it that wasn't played? Help me
Ninetales
out.
Lockdown wasn't played.
Yeah.
So they're
Ninetales-
they're replacing it.
Now, I like the idea of what they're replacing it with. I think a blockade of a station is actually fantastic. I really like that
Mhm.
idea. I don't think that they should replace Ninetales Lockdown, though. I think they should just run it less frequently.
I see what you're saying.
As they add more of these unique events, they can stretch them out, stretch out more time between them. I think part of the problem with like a Ninetales blockade happening or a Ninetales Lockdown happening all the time is people get bored of it and do other things. Whereas if you've only got it like once a week, people are going to make the effort to do that once a week because it's like, hey, it's not a regular occurrence. People like, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what they do. They've got it in their repertoire. I'm sure they can pull it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Anytime.
it's probably more
And
likely
fit
that
it
what
in
they're doing is
They can
Fun
fit it
more
in
like doing
sideways with some
what
mayonnaise.
they're doing is taking it out of rotation and then probably changing it and then putting it back in. Because there's no reason to like delete the content.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Have you noticed that
There's some
basically
amazing B-roll in this.
there is? Have you noticed that basically the entirety of every single one of our shows is Shiver says something hilarious right at the very beginning of the show, and then all three of us spend the next hour and a half trying to make references back to that one thing that Shiver said right at the very beginning?
Yep.
Every single week.
callback humor.
It's
Yeah,
almost
I love
like
it.
it's almost like he's good at that.
He is.
It's become a habit. Now it's expected of me now that you've said that. And it's like, oh shit, every week now I'm going to have to think of
Now
something
he's just gonna.
ludicrous.
Now in our next episode, he's just gonna start. He's just gonna stare at the camera.
I love Shiver creates the plot. I love
I'll
it.
do that one, yeah.
Oh,
What?
man.
Where's your introduction?
I have taken that the like Friday through Monday off for CitizenCon, so I'm planning to basically cover the whole thing.
Excellent.
My
I'm gonna
eyes
be
might
on
be bleeding by the
mayonnaise.
end of it, but
I need that. I need their schedule to be up before I can know what I'm doing, because it's Thanksgiving month here in Canada, and also both of my children's
Month?
birthdays are this month.
yes.
Well, it ends up being a Thanksgiving month because you have your Thanksgiving with, you know, the one side of the family, and then you have your Thanksgiving with the worst side of the family, and I'm gonna let you decide which one is which. And then you have birthdays with both of your children because both of your children were born in October. Just hell month. Okay, there's a reason why Mrs. Eris and I are very keen to leave the country next year in October, to not have to do any of this shit. Okay.
Europe, we're
That's
just not
fair.
thankful for anything.
Well, they're going to be
Uh,
very thankful to be out of the country.
JJ, I thought that's what we were.
Oh no,
Stop.
we're ridiculous and insane, but not bland.
Honey, I believe it is January/February. You know what time of year that means. Adjust bow tie.
I mean, I already sort of told him that North End. I was like, wow, he didn't plan very well.
I have so many things that I could say, and I'm not going to. I'm just
Oh,
not
man.
going to.
Well, you could try saying no for once.
Never. Okay,
Oh.
what's our last? So that's the 2 week. Oh, right. There
Most
wasn't too
recent one
much.
you haven't done. Yeah, you haven't done anything for
So-
the most recent episode.
There wasn't any like B-roll. There was just Jared.
I know.
Which, I mean, honestly,
He did an amazing job of this episode. It was so good.
I'm slightly disappointed that there wasn't some like really awesome B-roll of the espresso machine. Like, it should have just paused and then been
Yeah.
like the making of an espresso, and then gone back. You know. I
that
thought
would have been good. The unfortunate thing is, apparently the B-roll team had the week off. So
had the week off.
I really want a fucking espresso now. Thanks.
You're welcome. I would love one, but it's too late. And also, I only drink decaf now, and it's hard to find a decent decaf espresso.
Oh,
I didn't even know they made
Hmm.
decaf espresso.
They do. It's just not great, but
they call it water.
Fair.
I do
Oh.
miss. Ooh, Halloween. That's rough.
I was supposed to be born on. I was supposed to be born on Halloween, but I was 2 weeks late, so I instead was born on November 13th.
Darsh, yeah,
Occasionally falls on a Friday.
I cannot drink caffeine. I only drink decaf, and I drink decaf. I drink a pot of decaf a day for the flavor. I drink
I
it
get
black.
it. I was being facetious. I am also at that age now where it's like, oh, 6 o'clock. I need a
Decaf.
fucking decaf so I can sleep tonight.
I like beer. Beer and coffee are both bitter. I like bitter things. I'm a bitter old man.
You expected someone to disagree with you?
No, I'm not. It's actually funny. We're the youngest people on the block, so I can't even like go out onto my porch and yell at the youngins because we are the youngins.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
mate, get off my lawn.
Yeah. So the addition of this is great. Trespassing in ships,
awesome.
fantastic. Also amazing that you'll no longer be notified if someone's trespassing on your ship, which I find funny because they're showing this with an Avenger, which is very tiny. I can't wait for this to happen with like a Reclaimer.
A Starfarer.
And like you'll even if you know they're on your ship, you're never gonna find them.
Yep.
Hey, Carbide Edge.
Hello.
Hey, Carbide.
That's one of the beauties of the large ships. It's loads of places to hide. The Jeffries tubes, the innate horror of that kind of thing, because someone could really mess with you like that. I love that.
More ships in Star Citizen need tubes.
Yep.
Mm.
Apparently, there is a very heated debate internally about Jeffries tubes.
Really?
Yes.
How's
Well,
there
it
any
makes the
debate?
ships it makes the ships gigantic because they have to add like an
Yeah.
extra 4 feet on every side.
Don't make them 4 feet. Make them like 3 feet by 3 feet.
Okay,
And
3 feet
you
on
have,
every side.
You have to crawl through them.
It's a
I-
refactor that's going to be involved, though.
No. See, here's what they do. You don't refactor anything existing. Most manufacturers don't do it. What you do is you create a new manufacturer that does, and every single one of their ships has Jeffries tubes.
Now,
we call them
that
we
would
call them
almost work. However, internal landing pads and such are a thing.
and we call them Jefferson Starship. Thank you.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Do you
was
want?
really good.
I want Jeffries tubes. So there's no excuse for them not to be on cap ships.
And they might be. We haven't really seen enough cap ships to know.
Very true.
Like a Bengal better
Well,
have them.
I really love this concept where
Yes.
I really like that there's advantages on both ends. So, they come into your ship, you don't know they're there, but if you do find them, you're allowed to chase them and kill them regardless of where they go.
Yeah. You can chase them back to their ship and kill them, which is great.
Yep. This is a hilarious concept. I really love it. It's gonna make a lot of claustrophobic people very uncomfortable.
Darj, I thought they said you could do it if even for merely trespassing. They don't have to cause trouble. As soon as they trespass,
they go hostile as soon as they trespass, right?
you get to decide. Is how I understood it at least. I'll have to rewatch.
The man is insistent. It's not like that.
All right, Darge. That's what they were demoing. You go back and watch the video. The thing turns red as soon as they walk on the ship.
I'll go back.
Am I the only one here that's sort of leaning towards what Darge says being true?
Yes.
We can have a theory crafting fight over it.
I'll have to rewatch that section. I thought it was the other way. It might not be. And whichever way it is, I'll say this: whichever way it is, it'll likely change once they actually implement it.
Yes.
So who knows? Either way, though, whether they have to make trouble or not, I like just that they're implementing trespassing, and yeah, it's good.
Oh,
Do you
God,
like the
what a
Origin X
Carbide
one?
mess. Ares hasn't got much time to do cargo.
Yep.
Slice your cucumbers before you stick them up your jacksie.
Cinnamon buns with hot sticky semen.
Some very interesting descriptions of cinnamon buns.
Also, apparently, some idiots put raisins in cinnamon buns and in butter tarts, which both of which should be executionable offenses, in my opinion.
Yes. We should eradicate raisins from the food chain. There's
No.
no point to them.
There is.
Geriatric grapes.
There is.
They're-
There
yeah,
are.
they're-
No.
Their grapes
There are-
have failed the wine exam.
There are 2 points for raisins: yogurt covered raisins and chocolate covered raisins. Both of those are good.
Oh, why ruin yogurt and chocolate that way?
They're good snacks for kids. They're good, healthy snacks for children.
Oh, chocolate covered raisins,
not
so
healthy.
healthy.
Yogurt covered raisins are. Link loves them.
It depends on the yogurt.
That's fair.
Any yogurt is healthier than gummies, okay?
Yes, it is.
So,
Oh man.
uh,
So we got to see the Apollo. I'm so happy that they finally
Yes.
remembered that it existed. Because I love that ship. Oh man.
there are, I don't know if it's on the list of things that's happening this Citizen Con, but I would really love for them to at some point like go through the whole list, even if it's just like,
That'd be like 8 hours long.
I know, but or update the ship page that
Yeah, right.
really has needed an update for years. But just
You would have thought. I'm just spitballing out here. I am not a coder in any way, but surely the easiest way for them to keep that fucking thing up to date is to actually link it into DataForge.
I was
yes.
gonna say that exact same thing. They should just link it into the game. They built it that way so that they could link it into
Right?
the game.
I would
Yeah.
love if they did that.
You're in Canada, make it done. That's a turbulent thing. What the fuck, Eris? Sat there doing this when you haven't
You
made them
mean
do that? What
CIG
the
Montreal?
hell?
You mean CIG Montreal, sir?
CIG Montreal.
Maybe. More like CIG
Uh,
Montreal none.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm only 2 hours away from Montreal. I could go to their office and bother them.
Yeah, you should.
And I might someday. I just haven't yet.
You probably have a meeting in Montreal at some point, right?
Probably not.
Damn it.
Everything is remote now. I don't leave my house. Though I do have a good friend who's actually staying with us right now, who's moving to Montreal. So
There you go. Crash pad.
I like
Oh, I love the Apoa ships, by the way.
Oh,
Love the Jean
absolutely.
ships. I'm still, hurt and bitter. No 2-seater Avenger, no 2-seater Jean Scout. I am hurt about that.
Never say never.
Did they? Oh yeah,
He will, Carbide. He will.
I would. They changed it from a Avenger training thing to a Gladius. Did it, or is it still the Avenger that you train on? Because the 2-seater Avenger was a
Gladius?
training. It was a training.
It was a
ship. It was a
tra- it was a
training
tra-
ship.
Yeah,
It
I
was a
know.
training ship, but I think they changed it to the Gladius.
Yeah, I think it is good Gladius now. Yeah,
That disappoints me.
And if it
This-
isn't
I
the
love
Gladius,
that
then
fucking ship.
if it isn't the Gladius, it's probably the Hornet.
This
the 2-seater Hornet?
This cargo organization stuff is great. By the way, just
Amazing.
to this is so good. I
Then
like
you'll
that.
never have time to use it.
I won't. I won't, but I love it. Like it's well done.
That's so cool.
I really want a tractor beam that can grab multiple small things at once or one large one. Like if
All right.
if
Well-
I'm in the car, if I'm in my hangar and I
You're
call up some
concierge.
cargo,
Get typing.
if
Put in those
it
suggestions.
comes up, no, this is me putting in my suggestion. If it comes up on that elevator, the cargo elevator, and there's like 10 1SCU crates, I want to be able to just cargo beam 5 of them at a time and drop them in 5 at a time. Like, don't make me do this one at a time. And I'm going to say something very vehemently right now. The cargo elevator that comes up better not be a 10-second walk away from my fucking ship. It better
Yeah,
be
I
right
agree with that.
fucking beside my ship. I'm sorry. It better be right beside my fucking ship. I will
the ship is large enough-
riot.
If the ship is large enough, let's say the Reclaimer.
Yeah.
Thinking of the right ship.
Oh my god.
It will have an internal. It should have an internal tracked beam attached to the ceiling or something like that. Very much like we have a hook in this modern day, but tracked beam that has several emitters, so you could do exactly that. There we go. Solved it.
Well,
You're
I
welcome.
want lots of ships to have that. Like the Cutlass Black should have a tractor beam on the side, so you can grab cargo from a ship
It has,
and slide it into yours.
it has one on its ass. It has one on its ass.
I know, but this can't all be manual. It can't. I know.
Surely, especially if you're doing that in space, you don't
Well,
need to be
piracy thing
constantly
is gonna
tractor
be manual.
beaming crates and things. You could use the inertia, right? You could just like, there we go. That's set in the right. That's set in the right. That's set in the right. Like Tapper almost, but God, that shows my age. But as it approaches, you know that one's far away enough. That one's close enough, and
Goose. Why am I a goose?
because you're an angry Canadian.
I was actually
Why-
just imagining that somebody just gets good enough with their ship that they just open up the cargo bay and start flying backwards and just like swallowing things.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Hey, fun
Why
fact.
not?
Did
Why
you
not?
know? Did you know that
Chunk.
that geese have teeth?
Yes.
Geese are scary bastards. They have teeth. They will bite you, and their teeth are serrated. They're not like weird like bleh, cow teeth
Yeah,
or
but some of
something.
them
They're
taste
fucking
really good.
serrated.
Some of
And
them taste so
swans,
good.
they do. Swans will break your arms. Swans are vicious bastards.
Yeah.
Yes, Darj is right. They have teeth on their mouths, like on their beak, and on their fucking tongue,
Good to know.
as opposed to their
so-
eating tongue.
So Canadians,
girls like that.
Oh god.
So Canadians.
My own
tend to
fault
be
for dating that
really-
woman from LV 426.
Oh.
Oh,
wow.
what is wrong with us?
No, this is what's right with us, David.
What's wrong
I
with
just
us
hope
is we've
someone
been
got
doing
that
this for 10
reference, to be
years.
honest with you.
Oh man.
It's been 94 years.
And we still haven't hit
Oh,
Peter.
Anything else you guys want to talk about from this episode? Do you
Yes.
think that the non-medical Apollo is going to come true as per Jared's wishes?
I don't see why it wouldn't. They've got the ship. It's a lot easier for them to rip out the internal components of the ship and move them around and make it into something else than it is for them to design an entirely new ship. So yes, variants of every ship should happen. That's what I think.
I don't see why it should, because why? We've got enough other ships that do other things. And don't get me wrong, I love the look of the Apollo, and I wouldn't touch it. It's because I'm not interested in medical gameplay, but I love the aesthetic of it.
Oh,
But
it's
hang
gorgeous.
on.
Looks a lot like a Star Trek ship.
Do you know what you can turn an ambulance into really, really well?
Ice cream truck.
A food truck.
There you go.
Apollo
There you
food
go.
truck.
Velcro carbide. That's my secret.
I also want we'll probably see the clip in a second here. I think it's the next clip after this one. Also, one thing I'll say, so this is the Avenger. So here's a good question. Right now we're seeing the Avenger that is the bounty hunter variant of the Avenger, which has all the the prison pods in the back, right?
Yeah.
And it's got like 8 prison pods in it. And the Avenger is a cheap ship with 8 prison pods in it. In a second, we're going to see, is it the Mantis? with its anal proboscis.
The mantis. Did we see the mantis in this?
Is it the mantis?
It's like, oh, that was the hawk.
The
That was
hawk. Sorry,
the anvil hawk.
we're gonna see the hawk with its anal proboscis.
Yeah.
How many? How many pods does it have room for in its anal proboscis, in its anal cavity? It's an
One, I
expensive. It is a very expensive ship with room for one captured person in its anal cavity, whereas the Avenger is a cheap ship with room for 8 captured people in its anal cavity, and I think that's a very important distinction to make.
We've said anal cavity a lot in this episode.
Too much.
Oh man, but yeah, the hawk is, it's has other pros. Probably will be used for tracking down more difficult to catch criminals instead of just rounding up the local thugs.
Carbide, there's a lot of things that I shouldn't say. Seriously though, the hawk's anal protrusion really makes me think of a mosquito, but the back end of it, I don't know why.
Okay.
It's got like a proboscis coming out of its butt. Does it not look like that? Does it not look like it's pooping out and then like taking? It's a suppository. It's taking in a suppository.
That's a person.
A human suppository. It's taking. Oh my god! It is.
This Gavian joins because you're okay.
So I hope nobody.
Is actually very surprisingly silent right now.
I hope nobody liked the hawk.
Oh boy, Melchieri, poor Melchieri.
Ah. No problem.
You also damaged North End. North End Trooper.
Yes, Chris, that guy there.
The freelancer is getting updated for internal stuff.
It is, yeah. It's getting its all of its component sections.
I still don't like the X1, by the way.
I don't either.
No, I don't really like it either. It's fine.
I think
And
it's.
I usually quite like Origin, but
I think it's ugly.
It looks like a phaser to me.
Someone posted
a whale and a shark.
Someone posted a very compelling.
Marmalade.
It looks like the pistol from Galaxy Quest.
It does, yeah, for sure. We kind of missed talking about it, but I was really, really, really happy to see that as part of new player experience. As part of
Sorry, go ahead, and then I'll go. Okay. Speakeasy, we've never been gone. We've always been here. We're just lazy fucks and sometimes don't do our jobs.
Sometimes we're like out of the city.
Yes. But no, we're always here. Same time every week that we choose to be.
Sometimes we do like 8 shows in a row, and then we're like, "Hey, how about we do 1 show in 2 months? How about that?"
We're professionals.
Yeah, exactly. So what I was gonna say was, as part of the new player experience, they are improving the signage in New Babbage, which is desperately needed. It is one of the things that I've often thought was really terrible in New Babbage, was finding out where the hell you are and where you need to go. And they're also putting in some new stores, like the Kelto one that was pointed out, that are right at the base of where you come down from the lift.
The problem that I now have with Kelto is I'm gonna ruin another thing.
What's your problem with Kelto? Come on, man.
My problem with Kelto is it sounds like a bastardized franglais, So franglais is where the Québécois in Quebec mix French and English into the same sentence. So in French, quel means what, and in English, toe means toe. So to me, it sounds like a foot fetish thing. Quel toe. Nice toe there. Quel toe.
That's
Yes,
a hell of a
surely-
stretch when you've got
Yes,
in
it is.
Star Trek the Vulcan game Calto.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You're welcome, Darsh. I'm just here to ruin everything Star Citizen this week. What else can I ruin?
That is your Achilles heel.
Wow,
Uh,
this might actually be our best episode ever.
I've been meaning to say this for a couple of episodes, and I'm going to say it now. As much as you say this is our best episode ever, no episode will ever beat Ants.
That's a good point. That is a good point. At least not for a cold open, anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
that was the best open we've had. Jakey, eggs and bakey.
Whatever
Shiver.
I've been
episodes-
waiting.
Ants.
I've been waiting for fucking
I love you,
years.
JJ.
Fucking years for one of you to be eating cheese at your keyboard and drop something. Just so I can say, debris
Hell
everywhere.
fromage.
Wow. So,
As you can
did we
see,
want to
we've
spend 10 minutes talking about CitizenCon?
we've reached the point where we've talked about all the episodes. So let's talk about
Aw,
CitizenCon.
damn it.
Oh, Darsh, nice. You know
I
what,
like it.
Nescavian? I wish we were going to I wish I was driving to CitizenCon because I would live stream the whole thing. But that is like a 48-hour
72.
drive.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
straight.
Yeah.
He's very far from Los Angeles. In fact, I'm going to find out how far very quickly on that lovely little thing we call Google Maps.
I could probably drive to the UK faster than I can drive to LA
Probably. If you could figure out a way to
if I could
float.
drive there. It's the same. The LA is about as far for me of a plane flight as the UK is.
Yeah, that
LA
What
is
about 3,
really
2,
fun.
1 and jump points?
Oh, and the jump points. So I was actually asking folks about this earlier. But I mean, I'm not really shocked that they're in there. We've been asking them for years to just drop the jump points into the game and started not talking about that much about it. but it's pretty obvious that they are preparing to actually start using said jump points, or at least the intention is there. What do you have? What do you think about the jump points, Shiv?
I thought they were very nice. I look forward to seeing where they're going to go with the actual navigation of the jump points, whether or not they actually are going to stick with so you can just let your nav computer plot the route through and it's whatever, or you can actually try and do it manually and see if you can make a fast one. I love that idea. I don't know if they're going to still stick with that, but I hope they do. Aesthetically speaking, they look very nice. They look
Mhm.
very nice. And there's only so much you can do with what is essentially a wormhole.
Nescavian?
Just ask
Cannot-
Eris.
What? What are you
Right.
asking me? Nescavian,
Right.
I can't train from where I am in Canada to the US. I looked
Also,
a
it would
number of
cost,
times.
like, if you were able to do it, it would cost like 7 times as much as any of the other
Yeah.
options. Passenger
Yeah.
train travel in North America is extraordinarily expensive, like many thousands of dollars.
Yeah. If I want
so
to go,
if anybody wanted to know, for David to drive to Los Angeles, it's 4,400 kilometers, or about almost 2,800 miles.
it's far. I looked this up once. I am about like I'm like, so I am a 2-hour flight from the east coast of Canada. It's fairly close. It's, a 24-hour-ish drive. Like, it's a doable drive in a couple days. If I wanted to take a train from Ottawa to the east coast, not only would it take a full week to get there, a passenger train, it would also cost me $2,000 to go from Ottawa to the east coast. We
I've always
do
wanted
not
to do a
have
train trip
passenger
in
rail.
Canada.
Oh, I
No,
know.
passenger rail is like a myth in Canada.
We don't have it.
Yeah.
Which is
It's
horrible
sad,
because
because we
Canada
have
was
one of the
built
coolest-
on it.
Yeah, we have one of the coolest railways in the world, but we don't
Yep.
use it for that.
Nope. I like the looks of the jump points. They look really cool. These are not the jump points that I am interested in. I am interested, like, these are going to be these are the stationary
These are
jump
not the
points.
droids that you're looking for?
They're not. These are the stationary jump points, right? These are the ones that never move.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the ones that show up for a week.
Yeah, those ones are going to be fun.
The ones that just fuck with everything for a bit because they can.
I think you're not going to see those for a very long time, but I absolutely agree that'll be very interesting when they start playing around with those types of things.
I would really like, and this is, I have
Oh,
been
man.
saying this for years, but now they finally have an official Montreal CIG studio. So, CitizenCon Montreal, when?
2030.
Gotta do it. Montreal is in the rotation now. It's gotta be, right? It's a CIG studio.
I really hope it is, because I would love a Canadian CitizenCon.
You could all try poutine.
Yeah, from the land where it was created.
Real poutine. And decent beer.
So, all right, Shiver. What is the one thing that you are most interested in hearing about at CitizenCon?
Hang on. Do we have a list?
Fuck.
Do we have a list?
we have a-
Okay.
Do we have a list of what is showing up at CitizenCon this year? Have they posted that yet, or is it still not out?
I did. I
I'm-
went looking for it and I couldn't find it.
Why did it do that?
Did you mess everything up? There we go.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
we don't have a
I-
list yet.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
Cams are back.
Well,
Sorry.
they're going to talk about multi-crew. I've decided this. They're going to be fully releasing, fully fleshed out multi-crew. It's going to have absolutely everything, and then they're
Mhm.
going to build the game around the fully fleshed out multi-crew mechanics.
There was
Okay,
a
if
lot
we're-
of mentions of flesh in there, which really kind of works for this episode, you know.
Carbide, the city that rhymes with fun is actually Ottawa. No, sorry. Ottawa is the city that killed fun. My apologies.
I love
Literally,
your
that's-
correction there.
Literally, that's what we
Oh.
are. We're the city that killed fun.
Oh man. So the anti-Las Vegas.
Las Vegas is
Um,
just greed. That's not fun.
Well, I
New
have
York,
lots of fun there.
Las Vegas is
know
greed.
what's a lot
New
of fun?
York is
You know, it's a lot of fun going to Vegas and not gambling, because you can do lots of cool stuff and you don't lose all your money.
yeah, that would be. Let me.
I wouldn't want to visit
Let's-
though. I quite like wearing clothes, and I
Hey, Tim.
hear you go to Las Vegas, you've got to strip.
Yeah, it's mandatory. Yep.
You also have
And
to
if
get
it's
married.
not, yeah, that's also true. And even if you don't, even if they don't force you to strip, it is often like 50 degrees Celsius there, so you might want to.
You want to?
Oh yeah, it is the middle of the desert, isn't it?
Yep.
Is it kind of basically Las Vegas, death?
You know,
That's how I
it-
picture it.
Shiver, I flew into Vegas. This is such a cool thing. You're flying into Vegas, and you're looking out the window at night, right? If you're flying in at night, there's nothing. There's no lights. There's nothing. It's pure blackness. And then all of a sudden, you come up upon the city, and it's just like blinding. It's like, ah!
when you, depending on which way you're coming in, if you're
Oh.
flying into the Netherlands and you have to go over the North Sea,
Mhm.
because it's an artificial coastline because they dredge most of the country up because it's below sea level. It's literally just this straight line, and you're like, never going to see that again.
If you're flying into Iceland, you're like, ooh, is that the airport? Nope. Oh, is that the airport? Nope. Oh, is that the airport? No. Oh, that tiny thing can't possibly be the airport. Oh shit, that's
There
the
is.
airport. All right.
Yeah. So, David, what
Yeah.
are you most excited about at Citizen Con? What do you want to see?
Yes, good
What's
question.
on
So
your wish list?
are we doing Shiver's wish list here? Because if we're following Shiver's wish list, then I am most excited to see
Melissa
Squadron.
Estrada.
I'm most excited to see Squadron 42, where they're going to announce that Squadron 42 is playable for everyone in con and out at the event.
Okay.
Just based
So
on
really
Shiver's.
fantasizing here.
uh,
Okay. Yeah.
Shiver was like multi.
I know. No, I know what you're saying. I'm just harassing
But
you.
if
'cause,
if
that's
we're
part of my
being
job.
serious, I really want to see and really hope to see a little bit of a plan on sort of how do they expand, because right now we've got a good test bed, but it's not a good MMO. It's not a good game. How are they going to expand the content of Star Citizen, the things to do, the things to loot, the things to earn? Like, how are they going to make this a game? And I really hope to see a bit more about that at CitizenCon.
That's a good answer. Do you have any more things to contribute, Shiver?
I suppose just looking forward from CIG's perspective, because they always they used to at least say, look, here's what we're aiming for. You've got this to look forward to.
Can I really
Maybe a
quickly
Smash
append?
monitor.
I'd really likely I'd like to really quickly fuck. I'd like to
You want to
quickly
quickly
append.
fuck?
Who doesn't? I'd like to quickly append my response.
Go.
I don't have much of a memory right now. I don't think
You
we've
said
seen
that.
Chris. I don't think we've seen Chris like at all this year. I think this might be the least we've seen him.
We haven't seen him in a long time. I think we saw him this year, but it was a long time ago.
We have not seen him often this year. Even
Nope.
in previous years, we had pillar talks and stuff. Yes, he's
He
posted
posted
in
in
Spectrum, but we haven't seen him talk. We haven't seen like Chris. The problem with Chris posting in Spectrum is Chris could be vetted before he posts in Spectrum. I would like to see.
You want to see unfiltered Chris? I get
I
it.
want to see unfiltered Chris.
That's why I think we haven't seen him, because the devs are like, he's trying to get out again. He's trying to get out again. Quick, fucking blowtorch the door.
I'm sure it is. But at CitizenCon, we should see Chris at least slightly unfiltered. And I think, I mean, I love CIG. I love all of the devs. I mean, Jake is there, and Jake is best human.
Yep.
Everyone that I've met from CIG is fantastic. I have extreme faith in the studio. Even if I disagree with a lot of their decisions, I think they are making the best game that they can and here's the key, they're making the best game that they can in Chris's vision. I just feel like we haven't seen much of Chris's vision recently, and I would really like to hear from Chris.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from him as well. It's been a little while. It's nice
Hot job. Musk has shown that something else entirely.
That, but also more things.
I'm just glad that we can legally refer to him as the pedo guy since he won that case.
We can.
Mm-hmm.
He is the pedo guy. Really loved Epstein's Island.
Oh.
All right. Now I'm going to try and talk about the things that I want to see at CitizenCon after that. And
I have no
just before
filter, I don't
Relay
care.
actually gets sued out of existence.
Can't sue someone for factual
Oh, well,
statements.
that's not true. But anyway, what were you saying, Nakara, about CitizenCon?
I also am really looking forward to hearing about Squadron. I getting the sense that we might. But I mean, eventually it has to reemerge from stealth. It's been a while. So hopefully we get something, and I'm also really looking forward to hearing more about. This is not the most interesting thing in the world, but I want to hear about server meshing and how they're coming along with it, and what problems they've run into and where they're at. We know that persistent entity streaming didn't go very well, in terms of how much work it took them compared to how much they thought it was going to take them. So I want to know what they learned from that and how they're applying that to server meshing. So that's my bit.
I would really like, and I don't actually think we're going to ever get this. It's something that I've been asking for like 2 years now, since it happened, basically. I really, really liked Pillar Talk. I thought that was a fantastic...
They did one.
They did one. But like, they only had to do one at the time. I would really like now, like, an update on... Okay, look, this is what our research has shown. This is what our testing has shown. Here's what we're actually going to be able to do. Here's where we are in all of these pillars. Here's what we've succeeded at. Here's what we think we're going to be able to do. And here's where we're going next. Also, preliminary investigations show that we can't get server meshing and the replication shard working for an infinite number of people. We can only see it for, we figure we'll get about 5,000 people. Like, I would like some expectation setting, some updates to where they are on the tech that we're still missing. Content is one thing. We get frequent updates about content they're working on. We get very infrequent updates about the tech that we're missing. I would love more tech updates.
Yep, for sure. And I think we need to go over to Shiver and ask him what he's doing this week.
Oh yeah, we do. Holy shit.
Oh, are we doing... Oh shit, no, I need to check the calendar.
And now over to Shiver.
It's raining, Bob. Do you think we'll do another stream in the next 2 weeks?
I expect one next weekend, unless David's like attacked by his relatives.
Oh shit! So, as per usual on Friday, we've got VTM over on twitch.tv/Table of Horrors. And then towards the later end of the month, for Halloween on the 24th in your time
Right
zone,
after
we are starting. Oh, right after we're doing Wraith of the Oblivion, probably 2 or 3 part one shot with some various faces. Some of you may know, some of you won't, but it'll be very interesting. Because Wraith is a hell of a game.
Is it really a one shot if it's a 3-parter? Sorry.
It's hard to do a one shot in less than like 6 hours.
Agreed. Yeah.
But nobody has time for 6 hours on a stream.
Not usually.
Well, we did 8 hours straight once for a one shot, and never again.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's too much.
Anything else?
Speaking of 8 hours, has anyone else ever transcribed Tony Zurovec? Because
Yeah, that's what it's like.
you know what bonds all of us so closely together is transcribing Tony Z.
Yep.
PTSD from
Uh,
transcribing.
I remember when he had a 20-minute like monologue, and it took me like 2 days to transcribe.
Yep. Yep.
Sorry, Dutch. Great minds. Great minds, Dutch.
Oh,
I
man.
honestly don't know if we'll do a show next week. I think we might. I think we should probably just take it off until CitizenCon.
All right, we're gonna we're going directly.
Good thing
from
I
this
said the thing about
into,
Wraith
like,
then.
and we're going directly from this into 2 straight days of streaming at CitizenCon.
Yes, we are going to do a watch party. Nakara is going to be watching it the whole time. I think Shiver and I are going to be filtering in and out as our schedules allow and as time zones allow. But yeah, join us for CitizenCon for anyone that can't be there. If Darj, if you're free, yeah, we'd love to have you on too. Absolutely. We will work that out. I think we'll work that out when we get the schedule for CitizenCon for what times their things are going to be shown at, because then we'll know what times we're gonna be at. So once we get the schedule, we'll talk amongst each other, and we'll talk with you, Darj, and we'll probably we'll have some more announcements in the Discord on like what's happening. But yeah, we will be here for a party the whole time, and I will be drinking every second that I am able to. Water. I'll be drinking water because it is important to hydrate.
Yeah, you're just about to get kicked off of Twitch. I mean, none of the other things we've said tonight would get us kicked off of Twitch, right? Twitch? Anyway.
We're
Drinking
prime
water
territory.
and eating cucumbers.
Oh, God.
Sideways. Love you all. Thank you so much. And pineapples eat you.